Anastasia Beverly Hills has come out with a new palette. Crap, I'm not in the mood for this. The Soft Glam palette. This absolute sexiness as well. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Subculture palette, so I won't be able to compare this palette to it. I already did one side of my eye. I already have some queries, questions and concerns, but we'll get into that during the video. Starting off with my base, I'm of course going to be using the P. Louise base in Rumour. Popping that all over the eye. Just a tiny little half grain of rice size. I do have a more in-depth video talking about this base and also the P. Louise eyeshadow palette. I'll leave that up here for you guys. You can check that out if you like. But yeah, I wanted to use this palette with what I have been doing.
Oops. Too much. I don't normally use my finger for this.
For it for some reason, but like I said, something just drew me to the Soft Glam, so here we are. So there's not really like a bright brow bone highlight as such, so I'm actually just gonna take the Amrezy highlighter and just apply that to my brow bone. Only a teeny tiny amount. You guys know I'm not mad on the brow bone highlight, but I just like a little. Every other palette, so I'm gonna take the slightly darker shade first, which is Sienna. There is a lot of kickback with this palette, but to be honest, I don't care about that, only for the fact that it's going to get messy. Up more, so I have not picked up any more product yet, guys. You've seen I only dipped into it twice, and that's how much like product use we're getting out of just very lightly dipping into the product twice. I don't know, I can tell by eyeshadows, like as soon as I dip my brush in, like if there's a lot of kickback, what that means is you don't have to use an awful lot of the product. If you swirl into it, you're gonna waste so much eyeshadow. Like look how much I got out of that. That's insane. So I'm doing a little spotlight action because I know this is a Soft Glam look and everyone's going to be doing soft glams, but I thought let's see how this can handle something a little bit more dramatic. But I will say it does panic me sometimes slightly because as you can see the eyeshadow gets caught. I know that's because I don't set my base. Sometimes if the base is a little bit wetter in other areas, eyeshadow can get caught to it, but all that means is you just need to spend a little bit more time blending. Like wow, that's one eyeshadow. That looks like I've got 2-3 eyeshadows on, guys. So I am actually going to take the brush just for the very edge of my eyeshadow. I'm going to take the shade Orange Soda and we're just going to blend the very edges of that. Guys, that Orange Soda is like the perfect transition shade of all time. More so if you're like really pale, but because I use a bright base, it works great for me. It literally just blurs the very edges of your eyeshadow so seamlessly into your skin. It's sick. Gonna go back in with Sienna and just build up some more depth. Guys, I am really enjoying myself right now. Like, I'm having a good time with this palette. I'm going to take the smaller side of the brush that we get in the palette. I'm going to take a mixture of, what's this called? Rustic and Cypress Umber. Again, just like massaging my brush into the eyeshadows, not like running amok in them. Adding that right into the inner corner first. This side of the brush is actually unreal for these type of spots. First, just gonna find it's a little bit easier to cut the crease with something that's a little bit more liquidy. Find it kind of glides across the eye a little bit easier. It makes it easier to cut if it's a little bit more liquidy. Starting in the center. Then I'm taking another little tiny bit of the P. Louise base and using it just by itself, because when you put eyeshadows over this thing, it's just magical. Life-changing, life-changing. Do you see how much more opaque that is? So I'm going to set that using some very nice bright green base. Taking some sienna and placing it in between. It doesn't really matter what this looks like, to be honest, because we are going to be putting glitter and stuff over it. So I'm just going to take some glistening, that's this shade here, it's this gorgeous kind of like just typical gold shade, on my small little lip brush. Placing that right in the center and then working my way out. I mean, the foil shadows are unreal. You cannot fault them, always. And I'm going to take some of that Amrezy highlighter and again just apply that right to the center of the lid. Ooh. I'm going to take this up another notch. I'm going to be using my Stila Magnificent Metal in Gold Goddess. Like honestly guys, these are just the best thing ever. Like ever. They literally transform every single look. Again, gonna start in the center and blend my way out either side. Once you're happy enough with your little line, what I'm actually going to do is take the same metals and just run it down the center of the eye. Just very, very lightly, taking the teeniest, tiniest amount. I'm going to take the shade Mulberry. It is more of this like reddy undertone. Taking that in a small pencil brush and just blending the edges of it with some sienna. Then I'm taking some Cypress Umber and Noir, the two darkest shades. Really focusing them into my lash line. Popping some brown kohl pencil into my waterline just to kind of make it even smokier. I just think the darkness underneath contrasts so nice with the little pop on top. You know, I'm gonna take some more Amrezy and pop her into the inner corner. It's the only thing with the palette, there's no like bright inner corner highlight, which is fine because obviously you can just use whatever highlighter you're using on your face. Taking a tiny amount of the shade Bronze. I don't know why it's called bronze because it's actually like a greeny gold, but anyways, just right on that little tear duct thingy. Just taking a little bit more of the P. Louise base and I'm just applying that right to the center of my bottom lash line, and then taking my Stila Golden Goddess again. You guys know this is like my favorite trick that I've been doing recently. Applying that into the middle part of my waterline, blending it out. So that's my mascara.